I think the reason that Ava Chris Tyson is like this is because there's too much pollution. Just to be clear, I don't want to defend this because this whole segment is going to get me in a lot of trouble. Right? A lot of trouble. But like, DogPack404, the main guy spearheading MrBeast allegations, posting Alex Jones-esque conspiracy theories. They've hacked my Twitter, my Facebook, my Discord, my network. They read through my journals, which I've kept since 2009. They talk with all my old friends from high school and college, and even talk with family members. They got a hold of my and they circulated them amongst their friends. Good evening, good morning, good night. Guys, we have a lot to talk about tonight. I know it doesn't sound like it. Yeah, I'm actually completely blown away. We've completely lost the plot here. The battle for engaging in realistic MrBeast discourse was lost like a long time ago. It's a total waste of everybody's time. You might as well just say he's a f***ing child or something. There's no point in even trying to engage in like reasonable, charitable interpretations of anything going on. With some Reddit chat, we have a couple Reddit threads that I want to go through. Apparently Ricky Berwick tried to commit seppuku. Is that what that's called? I don't know what that is. Apparently Ricky is in like a medical hold at the hospital. That's not the funny one. That's the context one, just to be clear. That's not the joke. Don't laugh at that. Do not laugh at that. That was a...
What am I gonna do?
He's trying to commit Sudoku. Can we start using that one instead? The guy who we made fun of for... Well, we didn't make fun of him because his video's down. The guy that all my friends made fun of for his video is also the guy who's like, you need to stop saying unalive in PDF file in your videos because it like diminishes the actual discussion. Can we start using like commit Sudoku? Even though I don't actually care about saying suicide in the video, like I'm not even going to censor that in the VOD. That's funny to me. That's really funny to me. So first topic that I want to discuss here on Reddit, I just found this today and this is really funny. YouTube Drama is trying to cancel DogPack now. Yes, DogPack, the guy that we've been thrust into talking about for 2 months now because MrBeast and him are in a stalemate at who's going to take longer to upload the final part of their series, or I guess the initial response to all the allegations. We have to sit here and wait for DogPack's Part 4 video that he's waiting for Jimmy to release, that Jimmy's waiting for DogPack to release his video, and we have to keep pretending that there's new information to talk about and reading Rosanna's Twitter every single day to learn about how she finished in, what, 3rd place? 2nd place? How they lied about her hide-and-seek champion status or something like that. Okay, here. So, deleted Reddit and Twitter threads showing DogPack404, the main guy spearheading MrBeast allegations, posting Alex Jones-esque conspiracy theories about how pollution can turn people gay or trans. Trigger warning, transphobia. So, unfortunately, out of all the leaks, out of all the weird DogPack shit, they've finally found the truth, okay? It wasn't the bad reporting. It wasn't the weird Apple Vision Pro stuff. It wasn't the pretending he worked there longer than he did and not really getting... I think, what did he work there for, like 3 weeks? And he pretended he knew how the whole company worked. It wasn't some of the questionable decisions in the videos. I guess on an old post from January of this year on his account, they've started to discuss pollution affecting hormones, and that was it, chat. They lost... DogPack lost the fucking farm because of this drama. Oh, third eye opened, yeah. So here's the nuclear comment. I'm just reading it for the first time, to be honest. I've wondered if pollution can affect hormones, fertility, and penis size, like so many widely accepted studies claim. It's also not possible that pollution can affect sexuality and gender identity. I totally just read that wrong. I'm going to start over. I have to wonder if pollution can affect hormones, fertility, and penis size, like so many widely accepted studies claim. Is it also not possible that pollution can affect sexuality and gender identity? It feels like you aren't even allowed to hypothesize a connection between pollution and the rise in transgender rates, even with all the supporting evidence. Holy shit, this is a pull off to the side and an open bigger window type game. What the fuck is this? Microplastics. That's a fucking great way to start the segment. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh boy. Microplastics. EDCs and the woke agenda. Seeing so much debate about trans people lately, partially as a result of the Ava Chris Tyson drama, I want to throw my opinion in the ring. That was your first mistake. That was your first mistake. Your position on trans people is they're awesome. And that's all you have to say, because the people who don't like them have no industry power. Okay. And they cannot hurt you. So you just say they're awesome and you move on to the next subject and you would avoid this entire conflict. Okay. Because realistically, that's probably the easiest way to navigate this stuff. Anytime that you're posting this long, you're probably you're probably fucking yourself. Firstly, I'm entirely in support of trans people. I believe there is sufficient evidence to conclude that being trans is not a result of the woke mind virus, nor is it playing pretend or some kind of mass hysteria. I believe the sudden rise in populations identifying as trans is mostly a result of increased prevalence in EDCs in the environment, and the relationship these EDCs have on hormonal receptors. Could you imagine you're just looking up the Chris Tyson drama, and you're like, well, what was in the Discord server? And you click on like the main account of the person spearheading the investigation. They're like, I think the reason that Ava Chris Tyson is like this is because there's too much pollution. I would fucking die. I would literally die if I opened this organically and I didn't find this in a thread by some mad Redditor. Holy shit, dude. Jesus, I would fucking lose it, chat. I believe in the sudden... Where is this? I believe in the sudden rise in populations identifying as trans, mostly as a result of increased prevalence of EDCs in the environment, and the relationship these EDCs have on hormonal receptors, especially in utero and during puberty. Many male humans are literally being chemically demasculinized in utero and being born with underdeveloped male reproductive systems. Fifth lane syndrome, and this is 100% proven. Then after 10 plus years of additional exposures to EDCs, they're going through puberty. Again, it's 100% proven that EDCs can alter hormone ratios during puberty. The only thing that isn't entirely proven is the effect hormones can have on individuals' sexual orientation or gender identity. I use male to female as an example because it's 2 to 4 times more common. Further evidence in environmental and not genetic causes, but vice versa is also true. If you want to know more about these theories, I suggest researching the work of Tyrone Hayes and Dr. Shanna Swan. I believe there is some legitimacy to the idea of the woke agenda, or a narrative pushed by corporations to celebrate developmental abnormalities caused by the pollution. But in general, I think this agenda isn't causing people to identify as trans. And even if you identify these developmental abnormalities as bad, I see no logical reason to put down people who might have them. They would essentially be victims, and once again, we're all victims of microplastics in one way or another, forcing people to live in discomfort based on your own assumption that internally they've developed in alignment with their external genitals and are just playing pretend seems ignorant. I hope putting these theories and evidence out there will help people be more tolerant and understanding of trans people. What? This is why KSI should not talk about Israel-Palestine, by the way. This is precisely why I don't care what KSI has to say about Israel-Palestine. It's literally this. Like, who the fuck... Dude, I really needed DogPack's position on microplastics causing trans people to exist. That's what I watched a video on YouTube, and I can regurgitate it back completely. This is like if I tried to start explaining to you, like, about the Trump stuff, because I was on one stream with Destiny one time and he showed me a bunch of like peer-reviewed studies that I can cite on Discord. And apparently, while this is occurring, like while this was happening, the DogPack trans response came up. DogPack started firing off responses in the subreddit, like in the fucking rat's nest. MrBeast is putting chemicals in the Lunchables and making the freaking kids cringe. Jesus. Unironically, I believe a side effect to lead is suppressing testosterone in men. So, if the prime being full of lead thing is true, Lunchally might actually be turning kids trans. This is a joke. It would just make them less masculine, which does not equal trans. Thank you for the fucking clarification there. I appreciate it. Expose someone for being a shitty person is justifiable. Exposing okay, why does this keep happening? Like, genuinely takes one to know one, I guess. Agreed. Exposing people is not some selfless act. It oftentimes gets you a lot of attention. when you're not personally involved and just acting as a reporter. It's not like we've ever watched DogPack for their personality in the first place. Jesus. I want to know. This is a very, very common theory. My grandmother generally thought frying pans cause autism. What the fuck? Did he for real post this in January? Yes, you could search up his name. Oh, God. Dude, you're going to love his response. It actually hits like all of the buttons of what I want to see. MrBeast Creative. Hey, DogPack here. I'm not right-wing nor a big conspiracy guy. I mean, I feel like maybe I'm crazy here. You have to kind of be a reasonably large conspiracy theory person to do an entire Twitter thread on why microplastics are making people trans. That's not even a knock on your research or whatever you did to get there, but I feel like anybody who's writing a full fucking Twitter thread about how microplastics in the water is making kids trans is a reasonably large conspiracy theory guy. I don't know where else you're necessarily seeing that. And attaching it directly to your name and face. Like, I don't... Again, I'm not going to fucking start debating this guy on trans shit. That's not why I'm showing you this. But, like, I mean, you guys got to be kind of reasonably into conspiracy theories. I recommend this video by Oki's Weird Stories. Do you know who Oki's Weird Stories is? That's the retard who tried to debate me and said that, like, YouTube should create a new copyright system, and it couldn't, like... If you haven't seen this debate, it's on the channel. It's awesome. He's completely out of his depth. He showed up to talk about something he literally knew nothing about. He had no knowledge, like even baseline knowledge of copyright law at all whatsoever. That I think that expecting YouTubers to understand, like, the law is stupid. But to be a YouTuber, you have to kind of understand what fair use is. You kind of have to have some understanding what safe harbor status is. You have to understand, like, why the copyright system is there, why you're giving people your fucking full name, address, and all this stuff. You kind of have to know how this works. I think when you reach like a certain amount of subscribers and you get into your first copyright thing, it should not be the first time you're learning this information. But like, it's funny that his source is that idiot. Doing a deep dive on gay frogs. He called people who were on the EPA advisory board at the time. Microplastics and EDCs affecting sex hormones is not a conspiracy. The only question is whether altering sex hormone levels can influence a person's gender identity. In theory, that would make people more tolerant of trans people, as it debunks the theory that it's all in their heads. I'm gonna just give you a little truth juice here. Even if they definitively told every single conservative, trans shit, 100% real, definitively proven, here's the study to do it, most of them would still turn around and say, like, it's in the person's head. You could hand them, like, a signed letter from God. It would not change their perspective on the issue. It's not a theory I believe is definitively true, but after a lot of research, I believe it is totally plausible, as do many leading scientists in the field, like Dr. Hayes and Swan. These scientists are not bigots, and obviously this was mass downvoted because we're on the YouTube drama subreddit. Basically H-Bomber Guy 2. Trans people have existed long before plastic has. Or do you really only think that that we only popped into existence in the last decade? In terms of numbers, kinda? Yeah, kind of. I mean, I don't... But part of that is just the fact that it's been more socially acceptable to be so. And, like, be out and around and in public. But, I mean, yeah, there's probably a rise now that there's more movements like, what is it, the GSA and, like, in schools. What else do they have? Pride night at sporting events and stuff like that. Pride parades being in the norm and shit like that. So, like, obviously you're going to see more people be trans because it's more socially acceptable to be so. But I don't know. It'd be interesting to see the numbers on that. Please do some actual research into history and forget about the weird Alex Jones shit. I try to avoid engaging in people's rabbit holes just because I know debating and arguing online is usually pointless, but I'd also like to point the following out there. Say you continue down this rabbit hole and affirm in your belief that pollution somehow influences... Again, like, I don't think this is a really big position for DogPack. I don't think DogPack goes to sleep at night thinking if microplastics are making people trans. I don't know if this is continue down the rabbit hole, firm in your belief. I don't think you needed to really engage with it. What do you think about the outcome for this is going to be? I'll give you a hint. It wouldn't lead to less pollution, nor would it contribute to more acceptance. No, instead, bigots and leading transphobes would only hear that there's something wrong with us because of an oh my god, this person's crazy. Holy shit, dude. Oh. This take is literally, I would rather, like, even if your theory is correct, I don't want to know, because then it would give you guys more ammunition against me. That's fucking crazy, dude. Jesus Christ. Hold on, let me read this again from the beginning now that I kind of realize this person's a psycho. I try to avoid engaging with people's rabbit holes. Something tells me if I click on your profile, that's not true. Just because I know debating and arguing online is usually pointless, I'd like to point the following out there. Say you continue down this rabbit hole and affirm in your belief that pollution somehow influences LGBT identities. What do you think the outcome for this line of thought would be? What would society decide to do in response to this? I'll give you a hint. It wouldn't lead to less pollution, nor would it contribute to more acceptance. No, instead, bigots and leading transphobes would only hear that there's something wrong with us because of external factors, and therefore the campaign for us to be they'll campaign for us to be fixed. Can you see where this is going? It's genocide, by the way. They're referencing genocide, in case you were wondering. I've tried detransitioning. After spending my entire adolescence transitioning, I considered the idea that my abusers were right, and that there's something wrong with me. I didn't even last a year before I broke out crying one day because I couldn't keep lying to myself and those around me. Transitioning has only made me happier. I could smile and laugh without feeling empty inside because I transitioned. My friends have noticed that I'm so much more alive and vibrant because I'm not living as a shell of myself. I don't think you're a huge bigot. I just think you're misguided and following a dangerous line of thought that'll only contribute to people who want to take my life away from me. This person would live in a fucking fantasy. Like, I'm not even trying to make that comment because that's like a trans thing that people say, but like, this person would literally rather live in a fantasy land than realize what's even happening inside their head, because it's easier that way than to actually engage with it. Again, I think this is stupid, just to be clear. I think everything he said here is extremely stupid. I think that his source is extremely stupid, but his source isn't technically Oki's Weird Stories. It's the Dr. Hayes and Swan person, which would be outside of my bounds as a YouTuber to criticize, because I'm not going to sit here and start doing trans theory and reading peer-reviewed statements on stream. Just so we understand where we are with this. I think this is retarded, but my legal position can't be that it's retarded, because I'm not reading whatever Dr. fucking Kevin Hayes and the New York Rangers said, okay? Just to be clear, that's where I'm at with this. This person is like a psychopath. Like, this is insane. It's like, even if you have proof, any medical advancement will ruin my life and cause every trans person to die. You might believe you're an ally, but this is the kind of thing that very commonly leads to deeper and deeper bigotry. So, like, if you guys don't like the science, is that bigotry? This is like when you get into a conversation with any trans person, I don't even say trans person, so trans positive streamer. If you get into a conversation with any Twitch poll trans positive streamer, you're going to get like the person who's like, the science is settled. Why? No, it's not. What are you telling? Science is not fucking settled. That's the most common line you hear in any average Twitch politics debate, is the science is settled on every aspect of the situation. That's like the go-to line when anybody has an issue. It's like, you're just against science. And in this case, it's like, you might believe you're an ally, but this science thing leads deeper and deeper into bigotry. Cool. Man, I saw that video a long time ago, and my take was, oh wow, they dumped pharmaceuticals into the environment, and it was changing the sexual chemistry of wildlife. That's not good. My takeaway is not, this is why people are trans, because people have been trans for thousands of years. It's not pollution. Goodness gracious. They don't need your pity. I don't, just be clear, I don't want to defend this, because this whole segment is going to get me in a lot of trouble. All right, a lot of trouble. But like, let's be honest here. Trans people existing for a long period of time doesn't debunk this conspiracy theory as much as you'd want it to, I guess. I don't know. The only question of whether altering sex hormone levels can influence a person's gender identity. The question is, can walking into sunlight influence a person's gender identity? It's a theory. Make people more tolerant of trans people? No. The people hating them would call them environmental rejects. The most good that would come from... I can't believe all of these comments are about, like, do not research this anymore. I will die if you do it. This is crazy, dude. I think it's because he said something like, this will be great for trans people if we find out why they're all fucking crazy. To be honest, that kind of boils down his statement. I get why these people are mad. He's like, dude, no, you don't understand. If we tell everybody why these people are fucking broken, then everyone will be more happy. They'll accept them more. It's like, that's probably not the case, but every single one of these comments is like, God damn it, if you research any more science, I'll kill you. Holy shit, dude. Yeah. Yeah, this is what Augie did. By the way, Augie is Dr. Hayes. That's what he's been doing for the past year. Correct, chat. So yeah, DogPack got exposed for being a transphobic bigot because he watched an Oki's Weird Story video and got radicalized into thinking that plastic makes people trans. That's my position on that one. And that's the one I'm sticking to. It's been very interestingly. That's our only MrBeast content today. We have no other MrBeast content to talk about other than microplastics in the water. That's going to infect the Lunchables and be sent out to millions of children so they can transition them in schools. Be ready, bigot. Here we go. That was a joke for the record, Reddit, in case you're wondering. Now this is this is great. This is funny. I just want to show you this really fast. So this is not the funny part. I shouldn't have said that when I was here. To be honest, I was reading. This is the funny part. But Ricky Berwick has been in the hospital. And I think one of the top comments on here was like, wasn't he exposed recently for bullying children? Wasn't he just accused of bullying an autistic minor? Chat, I hate to tell you this. Somebody's got to stop this guy. They're canceling young Crip. Like, that was the whole thing I was reading is somebody's got to stop this guy. Ricky and Crip just got exposed on Twitter. And people are mad, all right? In case you're wondering, this is an autistic child artist, I'm assuming. I'm taking a complete guess based on what's happening here. Recent unearthed screenshots, dude. They found these in the Ganges River. They washed up to shore, okay? Recent unearthed screenshots of Ricky Berwick, Crip Daddy, and their fan bases bullying and, at the time, neurodivergent minor on Twitter. Trigger warning. Ableism, and R slurs. Twitter is filled with the reason why these are unearthed is because I think, or maybe I shouldn't make this joke. I'm gonna make it anyway. The reason why they were unearthed is because someone dug young Crip up to fucking bully him in this thread. Like, holy shit, dude, that's crazy. That's insane. Yeah, Twitter is filled with retards. Let's ruin the career of a 17-year-old boy by trying to get him deplatformed and nuke his bank accounts. That way he learns his lesson. What? How in any fucking universe would that work? And then this person came in and went, Plague Master said, wow, the R word, that's a slur. Not cool, mate. Oh, God. I can't believe young Crip bullied this kid. And then Ricky hobbled over on one leg and went, actually, it's not a slur. Educate and socialize better. Dude, brutal. He quote tweeted him. He could have died. Atlas. How the hell? But they have the 4-like tweet that the Crip found. Like, bro, this had to be somebody from inside the camp, dude. Somebody was at that guy's fucking funeral and saved these screenshots. I'm like, when you're in the ground long enough, I'm gonna fuck you up for this retard drama. Dude, how do you have the tweet with 4 likes that Crip saw? This is the fucking inside job. There's no way. How the hell do you gaslight someone this hard? I'm done with Twitter for the day. Jesus. Don't worry, though. There's stuff happening behind the scenes currently that'll be sure to bring him to an end. Behind the scenes, currently. I thought that one was on the nose. You know the thing leftists hated looking at since COVID? Have you tried growing a huge pair of balls? A slur against who? Can a toenail be a slur next? Basically, a 17-year-old autistic person, I don't know why that's relevant, wrote on Twitter a retarded tweet about the R slur. And then they got bullied for it because Twitter is an open social media site and posting stupid things under big tweets can potentially lead you to getting some hate. So Ricky Berwick quote tweeted it because that's a function of the site. And if you're a small loser on Twitter, you probably shouldn't like talk shit or engage at all whatsoever if you're afraid of being quoted by a big account, or you should just delete your tweet. I don't know, like why I don't know, like why are you getting mad here that they're using the site as intended to just like provide discourse? Oh no, people wrote mean things to you. It's probably because your statement was stupid. Can I see the Discord? I'd like to contribute. Let me talk to the mods. If it even exists, that is. That's a picture of Crip quoting with a picture on the tweet. A lot of slurs used on here. Cope, infant. I'm offended that you think it's offensive. I've studied 10 years in retardology. And I'm on the spectrum. ADHD. The amount of ratios here is insane. Here's a DM. You're too old to act like this, dog. This kid was brutally bullied. I don't know how he ever recovered from messages like this. Wow. Oh, no. Oh, they sent him a soy jack. He was sent a soy jack, chat. Oh, God. Is this kid going to be okay? We totally had to dig young Crip up to hold him accountable for this. This is so fucked up. Is this 17-year-old minor okay? Is he 17? I don't know. I'm not sure. Is this minor okay? They had a soy jack sent to them. Let's see what the totally rational complaints are here. Does this shock anybody? This looks like my thread when they started posting all the group chat links. I don't know what he did wrong. I have no fucking idea what he did wrong. None. And everyone's just vague about it. Does this shock anybody? Do you guys remember the time that Ricky made fun of a girl for having a breakdown on stream?
I really
because one of her patients, patients killed themselves over ableism. Actually, hold on. No, I don't remember that. That might be bad. That sounds pretty shitty. Did anyone ever think Ricky wasn't a huge piece of shit?
To you, Nick?
His entire personality is dripping it. Wait, I'm sorry. That's actually ableism. Ricky's whole personality is being fucking disabled. So if you don't like Ricky's whole personality, you're probably pretty ableist yourself. Because Ricky literally is disabled and shoves cookies up his ass. That's like his thing. Least surprising stuff ever. Berwick being a terrible person is what started his channel. No, again, it was being crippled. Unless you think that all crippled people are terrible.
Can I say something to you, Nick?
Ricky's whole gimmick is I'm crippled and I'm here to stay, dude. That's his whole thing. Would be happy to never hear from him again. But his entire shtick of being controversial. No, his entire shtick is being crippled. I hate to be the guy to tell you this. I don't know if you've heard about this, but Ricky's entire gimmick is being crippled. That's his whole thing. Ricky Berwick is a neo-Nazi who's friends with Stone Toss Comics. I told him the Flirks were going to bite him in the ass. Listen, people came to me like, should I do the Flirk thing? You're going to take the money to be in the Flirk NFT project? I said, look, I don't know if I'd get involved with that one, which is insane because he would have been one of the first ones sent to the camp. Oh, that's actually a good one. Jesus Christ. Okay, that one was spin. It's true. He would have been. Bro, he wouldn't have made it to the camp. He wouldn't have been sent to the camp. He would have been tendered eyes. They'd have made him into a chicken nugget. Jesus Christ. Holy shit, they started spitting mid-thread right there. I can't stand the rhetoric. As long as one or two people from a minority group say, no, this isn't a slur, they can apparently speak for every single... Yeah, because every other member is retarded. That's why. Yeah. Exactly. I'm severely physically disabled, and I've had it used against me as a slur. It's definitely a slur. Then maybe you should stop acting so fucking... I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, this is just... I'm reading this post. I know why people say it to you. Ricky is that kid who never realized people weren't laughing with them.
I don't respect you.
In general, I don't know.
No! What am I gonna do?
Like, in general, it's probably shitty to like pick out a retarded person. Okay, that's probably not the right way to word that. In general, it's probably pretty shitty to go up to an autistic person unprompted and just start calling him a fucking retard. But that's typically not how the word is used, and it never is. Like, even in the context of this, they're just saying Twitter is filled with retards, and they're talking about people who are exposing 17-year-old children for getting them to platform. I imagine maybe a 17-year-old kid said the N-word. Extremely common tactic to get him fucking banned from college because he said the N-word like 3 years ago. That's pretty, yeah, 2022. That was a very common thing that people did. Obviously, this post is not targeting a fucking special ed kid. There's no special ed kid that's being fucking bullied here. And this person is coming in to tone police them by like, R-word, that's a slur. It's not cool, mate. Generally, if you have a problem with the R-word to the point where it's a deal breaker for watching my content, I'm okay with that. I don't think of you as any less of a person, as long as you don't fucking start some violent campaign to get me deplatformed. I totally understand that's your boundary. That's something you set. But there are 2,200 people here who do not give a fuck, and those are my people, okay? Those are the people I want to surround myself with. I don't want to pander to people like you, because people like you are going to be the first ones off the boat to cancel me. I have zero interest in adopting these people into my audience, ever, in any circumstance. Like, it is literally not worth the dollar that your ads provide me. I would completely, I would lend to ask anybody who's here, who's the type of person who would reply to a tweet by being, wow, the R word, that's a slur, not cool, mate, to like vacate the premises. I'm actually super okay with it. This is crazy. I didn't realize Ricky Berwick still had fans. Dude, there's a lot of ableists in this chat. Berwick's entire shtick is putting on an ableist ministry for they're acting like he's like Bunty King. Bunty King was like Sargon's token brown person. God rest his soul. Apparently he's doing really well right now. Good for you, Bunty King. But like, yeah, he was like the token brown guy for the right. Ricky's the token retard. The notion that any and all critique of such behavior is nullified because the perpetrator of ableism. It's like, dude, I understand why you're mad about the R word. Anyone who wrote this long about it is explaining exactly what the problem is. This is like a Dark Viper thread, which again, I mean, I don't think I have to say it. It's funny seeing people act surprised when Ricky, yet again, gets exposed for being an asshole. Ricky's annoyed me since he bullied Luna, a cosplayer, for doing a dance TikTok trend. Imagine my shock. Well, okay. Ricky is like a pick-me disabled person. I don't know if he should be proud of that at all. His thing is like, I'm disabled and I'm cool with edgy jokes and ableism, so everyone else should be too. Yes, they should be. He's correct. His worldview is literally the correct one. Yes. I picked him. Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, this is ridiculous. So, obviously, in response to this drama, Ricky hospitalized himself and was totally suicidal. And that's the story I'm giving, despite the fact that this is the title of the post. I don't think there's any other comment. I think he read the messages on the subreddit and he checked himself into the hospital. That's my takeaway. Now, I guess Ricky put out a tweet and a lot of people were concerned because it looked like it could be real. And I think it is real. I'm at the hospital because my mother has been emotionally abusing me and controlling me for many years. She has power of attorney over me and said I'm allowed no more friends at my house. I was told by the cops. I told the cops it's not worth living anymore. Help me get away from my mom. Jesus. I think Ricky's older than me. That's kind of sad. I don't know. I hope he's okay. He was in like a psych hold or something, supposedly. As far as I know, this is real. I haven't spoken to him about it in particular. I haven't even messaged him about it, to be honest, because I feel like there's probably a bunch of people doing that already. But I hope Ricky's okay. I condemn him and young Crip for this violent rhetoric being used against this disabled child who definitely didn't deserve this backlash because their tweet was definitely not retarded. Okay, so that's my stance on this. I wholeheartedly condemn the both of them, and I wish Ricky eternal hellfire. I wish Ricky will be at like the bottom of the Marianas Trench in hell, okay? Because this is super fucked up behavior. And Ricky Berwick does not deserve a platform, folks, at all. There's also a thread here that I have to show you. It was referenced to me earlier in the night, and this is, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the craziest things I've ever read in my time on YouTube. And I'm going to try to show you as little of it as humanly possible, because the twists and turns in this thread are going to shock you and appall you, and you're about to learn a lot more about your community. Now, in case you guys don't know, there's this thread called Am I the Asshole? It's where people take creative writing courses to talk about situations that didn't happen, where the audience judges them. Okay, they claim they're real, to be fair, where they claim that like these things happened to them and all this stuff was going on, and they're asking if they were the asshole in the situation. I browse it occasionally because there's some funny shit on there sometimes. Cheating scandals. It's reading porn for like when you're done scrolling reels before you want to go to bed at 4 in the morning, right? So someone posted on Am I the Asshole? And I found this completely organically about the commentary community, and it was odd. It was very weird. So let me just quickly get into here. Hello, my name is Unethico. At least that's what I go by on YouTube. We have checked. This is a YouTuber. This is going to be a long story and partially a cry for help more than asking people's opinions. Probably, like a lot of people who post on this subreddit, I already know the answer to the question I'm going to ask. Additionally, however long this post may seem, I'm leaving out more details than I'm including. However long this post may seem, there are details left out. Because it's way too exhausting to have to write all these things that could have happened. Years ago, I wanted to start my own business where I unite ethics in YouTubers like Angry Joe and Boogie2988 together to fight for a more ethical business environment in the video game industry. Yeah, he was doing Gamergate for fucking loser YouTubers. It was a big idea, and I had an unorthodox method of doing things. It might sound bizarre, but I even spoke with former Washington lobbyist Jack Abramoff for a position in the company that I knew was a move that would earn a lot of publicity, as well as send a message regarding people's potential for redemption. Yeah, this is a 7-year-old tale. Big things are happening here. Despite my size, the idea and strategy was circulated among very big people, including Tucker Carlson at Fox News and Philip DeFranco. Liberals liked it because the whole idea was to hold bad business to account using petitions and a particular algorithm to competitively rank companies based on their ethical or unethical practices. Conservatives liked the idea because it used non-government free market agencies to hold companies to account. Well, I courted smaller YouTubers for 2 years and eventually launched a mass email trying to recruit bigger ones. However, there were YouTubers like Moist Critical, Video Game Donkey, I Hate Everything, and even PewDiePie himself, who I did not include, and they took it very personally. They launched a mass harassment and doxing campaign against me, mocking my marketing language. If you've ever heard the term "gamers rise up," that meme was started to mock me for several years, and it was motivated by people's bitterness at not being included in my campaign. It didn't particularly affect me at all much at first. At that point in time, as is the case with about any small brand, any publicity was good publicity, and being a rival in the right, mind you, to the largest YouTubers on the platform was a strategic benefit. I really started my own YouTube channel in 2018, uncovering secrets and figuring out puzzles in From Software games like Bloodborne. That is true. And Dark Souls. I actually made a name for myself in that field. I eventually figured out some unresolved mysteries that plagued the community for years, and at the time, I created the 10th most upvoted post in the main Bloodborne subreddit. I met with a well-to-do gentleman for a potential partnership in 2019. He was very wealthy, an influential individual. He'd met every president since Bush Sr. and hosted several fundraisers for Donald Trump. We chatted for a bit, and he did say some things that didn't quite make a lot of sense. I just kind of brushed it off at the time. However, in 2020, the Iowa caucus was mysteriously botched.
Who is Bunty King?
And people speculated that there might have been some corruption in the Democratic National Convention. Yes, the DNC. The things that my well-to-do friend had said made a little bit more sense now, and it led me to believe that the caucus was indeed botched on purpose, and there was a major instance of corruption taking place at the highest possible level. I sent an email to Shoe on Head explaining what had happened. She circulated that email around to her friends, who circulated it around to their friends, who circulated it around to their friends, on and on and on and on. It's a little unclear as to whether or not I was correct about the corruption taking place at the DNC. It seems like a further investigation has taken place, and people like Keemstar and Charlie have been trying to get to the bottom of things, likely for their own vanity, rather than out of any sense of duty. Given the gravity of the situation, YouTubers have been stalking everything about me since then, masquerading their stalking as a noble investigation. They've hacked my Twitter, my Facebook, my Discord, my network. They read through my journals, which I've kept since 2009. They talked with all my old friends from high school and college, and even talked with family members. They got a hold of my nudes, and they circulated them amongst their friends. There are people who will share this very personal thing about me in their Discords online. These are people like Creepshow Art, Bowblacks, Mizkiff. These are not good people, even though they pretend to be. In some cases, I was really, really kind to these people and tried to help them out when they were in a jam. That was a terrible decision. The thing being a YouTuber fears the most is the public, or rather, the public. They have diluted understandings of... Hold on. Oh, Jesus. We have to get a new song here. Sorry. The thing a YouTuber fears the most is the public, or rather, the public. They have a diluted misunderstanding that there's a stark difference between the public and their club. They'll circulate my emails, or my journals, or my nudes amongst themselves, and that's perfectly fine because they're members of this exclusive, tyrannical club. It wasn't wrong to gossip among well-to-do people. However, making things public by talking with people outside of the club, people like you, is wrong. And that's what we're going to do today. We're breaking the big rule that they hate to have broken, and we're telling the truth to people outside the club. We're telling the truth to you. People like Keemstar and Charlie have collected terabytes of data of blackmail. Streamers will have moments where they say a slur or do something stupid in their Discord server, and Keemstar and Penguin Zero will essentially blackmail them into doing what they want. Keemstar is obviously self-serving. However, Charlie will disguise his deeds as noble, even if he's just serving himself. Therefore, the way to neuter their power is to actually just talk very frankly and publicly about these things. The fear that these things being made public is what gives Keemstar and Charlie their power, and I'm not even 100% certain about the depths they've made people do things they shouldn't be made to do. The other way to get people to do what they want is through bribery. Charlie owns some kind of company where they arrange sponsorship deals with YouTubers. I think they mean Gamer from Mars. So people are incentivized on two fronts to do what Penguin Zero wants. There's a carrot and the stick. Now, part of this is going to sound insane. Chat, stand back. This is about to get insane, okay? I know, so far, this has been extremely grounded. Video Game Donkey is really upset about this. But this is where it really goes off the rails. I'm just pretty gosh darn sure it's the truth. You have to understand that Keemstar is a drama YouTuber. He loves drama. He lives for it. And he'll do terribly evil things to justify it by saying it's my job to report the story. In his world, people's lives are just a show for his entertainment. And whether they admit it or not, everybody participates in that show and indulges in it. Keemstar came into my father's life to try to vindicate him from evil things he'd done in the past. And he almost got violent with me several times. He seemed to slyly imply that he'd hurt me. I had to flee my home, and I was homeless for a few days until my mother coaxed me to come back. I've been rallying against Keemstar and Charlie for the past year. Rather than conceding, they've actually had my father and mother both drug me to try and pacify me. For a while, I was sleeping like 12 hours a day, and even through the day, I was still tired, and people at work even noticed how tired I was. These YouTubers have made it so I can't trust anyone, and I'm always on my own. And they have to keep everything that they do in the darkness, because they know they're in the wrong, and they can't survive in the daylight. I don't particularly know how to handle this next part. There's a YouTuber who has an incurable disease and is dying. He knows that I've been mistreated, so he's planning on giving me millions of dollars after he passes. But he's also collected a fortune from other YouTubers as part of the recompense. For a while, this led to a lot of conflicted feelings. However, I can see now that he really only works for himself. He never really cared about me. He doesn't give me the money because he's good. He's giving me the money because he did something bad. A lot of bad things. And I'm supposed to be super grateful and kind to him as if it's a gift. He continued to mistreat me in worse ways, more personal ways throughout this year. And it's likely that he's just using me to carry on his legacy, his memory, his work. He doesn't care about any of the harm he causes because he's dying. He has nothing to lose. The internet is a place people can often go when they don't fit in, and they're trying to find a place they can belong. They suffer from certain mental disabilities like BPD or autism, or maybe even sociopathy. I don't mean it as an insult.
I don't respect you. So I respect them.
No! What am I gonna do?
I don't mean it as an insult, I just mean it as a fact that people need to be aware of this. The problem I've had to deal with the brunt of their mental illness, as well as a lot of their deceptive public images, is they'll masquerade themselves as noble people, but in the background, they're extremely self-serving, malicious, petty, bitter, and cowardly. They'll lie to you, the public, every single day to manipulate you, to control you, to serve themselves, because there's nothing in the world they're more afraid of, and yet simultaneously crave validation from. Additionally, these people were outcasts in school, and they were bullied. They emulated in adulthood the way they were treated in childhood. I do receive a lot of support in the background. Nicholas DeOrio has been fighting for me almost religiously since day one. Turkey Tom and some of the others in the commentary sphere have been that way. Philip DeFranco has been one of the most influential people to advocate for me, and there are a lot of women who are on my side, because some of them took a peek at some of the stuff circulated around and they enjoyed it. I think Pokimane has actually been one of the toughest people to fight for me. TLDR. Am I the asshole for not being grateful to all these YouTubers who are giving me money and have simultaneously treated me like a toy and violated my privacy and safety many, many, many times? Chat, I have no idea what this guy's talking about. I have no fucking idea what this guy's talking about. This guy just found BlackRock in our community. This is like the most insane shit that I've ever read in my entire life. Imagine my shock, because I found this because somebody sent it to me and they said, like, dude, Bo Black's bullied another kid. I'm not even kidding you. That's what they said to me. Bo Black's bullied another kid. And then I clicked in here and it's like, Nicholas DeOrio has been fighting for me religiously since day one. And I have no idea who this person is. Zero. Zilch. Chat, you can go look at a year's worth of DMs where I hang out with Keemstar and talk about YouTube drama. I've never heard of Unethico in my life. Apparently this guy's in a war with every big YouTuber, including PewDiePie, and it goes all the way to the top. And he's been feeding information about the DNC
Nicholas DeOrio
to Shoe on Head. This is like the craziest thing I've ever read in my entire life. And if I had to guess, this person's probably schizophrenic. My big tell for that, again, I'm not going to diagnose them through the internet, but legally I think they're schizophrenic. They mention in here that Keemstar came into his father's life, and after he ran away from home, they medicated him and he was sleeping like 12 hours a day. This is probably a schizophrenic, if I had to guess. I don't mean to like ruin the facade, but this person's probably being medicated with antipsychotics. They're probably taking Seroquel, my legal opinion, of course. This post seems self-delusion or AI generated. You lost me at calling Boogie a ethics YouTuber. You're the asshole. Take your pills already. Jesus Christ, dude. Holy shit. This guy's main character syndrome bordering on psychopathy. Nobody knows who you are. There's no witch hunt out to get to you. Seek professional help. You're the asshole. Dude, if this was posted on YouTube drama, though, this post would have 1,000 upvotes. And they'd be talking about, like, how I always knew Keemstar was a bad guy. Am I wrong? This is Shadman? Could you imagine if this was Shadman? Jeez, imagine if there was an entire community of people paying Shad. Oh, wait, there was. You've had my back all this time. Thank you, Bobby's sister. Either AI or someone with serious delusions. You have not spoken to any of these people, and this story is either AI generated, made up, or complete delusion. The channels you say hasn't posted in 2 years, is under 1K subs. You say you met someone, they said something, and they tried to spread the word to everyone you could, yet you don't mention what they said or who they are. If you were trying to launch a company and had all these contracts, etc., make the video yourself and have them promote it. Shu and Phil would 100% do this if this is true. Jesus. I think the account and the YouTube channel are the same guy, just because the Bloodborne content can be found on both. This account used to post normal stuff about it a year ago. I think the OP has a mental health disorder that must have worsened in the last year, especially with him allegedly being homeless for a few days and supposedly being drugged. Sounds on point for someone who refuses to take their meds. Yeah, that's what I got from this. I ended up commenting, hey, I'm just going to say I was mentioned in this post as someone who's supporting you, and I'm not really sure who you are or what this is about. Interesting. Well, thanks for your reply. How on earth did you hear about this? Someone sent it to me wanting me to read it on stream. Interesting. The only problem is that someone hacked my Twitter and renamed the account to Tipster. This is so fucking stupid, dude. This is so fucking crazy. Oh, wow. So yeah, I did want to show you this because obviously there's a huge cover-up in the community, and I've been accused of sweeping in the past. No, not this time. People need to address the allegations, in my opinion. It has to be trolling. Let me quickly run through some donos, then we have real segments now. Reddit segment was like that's a prelude. Probably actually going to be clipped into a video because it's long enough, but that was the that was your opening spiel.